For centuries, people have believed one of the most famous myths in the world. Show a bull the color red, and it will charge in a blind rage. It's a scene we've all seen in movies, cartoons, and television. A matador waves a bright red cape, the bull lowers its head, and within seconds it's charging straight toward the fabric. It seems so obvious that most people never stop to question it. But there's one problem. It's not true. Bulls don't actually hate the color red. In fact, they don't even see it the way we do. If you replace the famous red cape with one that was blue, green, yellow, or even white, the bull would most likely react in exactly the same way. So if the color red has nothing to do with it, why do bulls charge at the cape? And how did one of the world's most famous animal myths become accepted as fact? The answer begins with the way bulls see the world. Humans have 3 types of color receptors in their eyes, allowing us to distinguish millions of different colors. Bulls, however, only have 2. Their vision is similar to that of a person with red-green color blindness, meaning they struggle to tell certain colors apart. To a bull, a bright red cape doesn't appear as a bold, attention-grabbing color. Instead, it looks much duller, blending in with other shades that humans can easily tell apart. So if bulls can't clearly distinguish red, what are they reacting to? The answer is movement. Imagine someone standing perfectly still while holding a large piece of cloth. Chances are, you wouldn't pay much attention to it. Now imagine that same cloth being whipped through the air, snapping back and forth in front of you. Your eyes would naturally follow the motion, not the color. Bulls behave much the same way. During a bullfight, the matador constantly moves the cape in sweeping motions, giving the bull a moving target to focus on. The charging behavior isn't triggered by the color of the fabric, it's triggered by the movement itself. Scientists have demonstrated this in controlled tests using cloths and objects of different colors. Whether the material was red, blue, white, or green made very little difference. When the objects remained still, the bulls showed little interest, but once they began moving, the bulls charged regardless of their color. So why is the cape red in the first place? Ironically, the answer has nothing to do with the bull. The red cape was chosen for the audience. Bullfighting traditions developed centuries ago in Spain, where the bright red fabric created a dramatic contrast against the sandy arena. During the final stages of a bullfight, the dark red color also made blood less noticeable, allowing the performance to appear cleaner from a distance. The choice was entirely about presentation, not animal behavior. Over time, people began associating the bull's charge with the color instead of the movement. The image became so iconic that it spread through paintings, books, advertisements, cartoons, and films. Eventually, the myth became so familiar that hardly anyone questioned it. Psychologists have a name for this phenomenon: the illusion of truth. The more often we hear something repeated, the more likely we are to believe it's true, even when there's little evidence to support it. And the myth about bulls isn't the only example. For years, people believed goldfish had a memory of only 3 seconds. In reality, they can remember things for months. Many people still think bats are blind, despite the fact that most bats have perfectly functional eyesight. Another common belief is that cracking your knuckles causes arthritis, yet decades of research have failed to find convincing evidence that it does. Sometimes an idea survives not because it's accurate, but because it's memorable. There's another important detail most people overlook. The bulls used in bullfighting aren't ordinary cattle. They're specially bred over generations to be powerful, alert, and quick to respond to anything they perceive as a threat. By the time they're released into a noisy arena surrounded by thousands of spectators, they're already under immense stress. The constantly moving cape simply becomes the most obvious thing to react to. Take away the famous red cape and replace it with a jacket, a towel, a flag, or any large piece of fabric. If it's moved in the same way, the bull is still likely to charge, because the movement is what captures its attention, not the color. So the next time you hear someone say that bulls hate red, you'll know the truth. For hundreds of years, we've blamed the color when the real trigger was motion all along. It's a reminder that some of the world's most famous facts aren't facts at all. They're stories that have been repeated so many times that they eventually became part of everyday knowledge, even when science tells a completely different story.